Hello friend, in this session we are going to learn about Introduction to Power BI. Before diving into the Power BI introduction, let's have a quick look at business intelligence, that is BI. It refers to taking raw data from a data source, transforming it into usable data and utilizing it to make reports and informative graphics for data analysis. Graphically representing tabular data is known as data visualization. It enables a user to visualize important information through charts, graphs, KPIs, that is key process indicator, maps, etc. to attain valuable insights just by looking at them. Well, Power BI is one of the most popular data visualization tool and a business intelligence tool. It converts data from different data sources to interactive dashboards and BI reports. Power BI is an user-friendly tool offering impressive drag and drop features and self-service capabilities. We can install the Power BI desktop on our local computer to create our reports. By using this Power BI desktop, we can connect to different data sources such as text file, databases, Excel files, etc. Next, we use this data to build Power BI reports by dragging the required charts. Finally, we can share those reports across the organization. Power BI suite provides multiple software, connector and services. Power BI Desktop, Power BI Service based on SaaS, software as a service, and mobile Power BI apps available for different platforms. This set of services are used by business users to consume data and build BI reports. The first version of Power BI released on 24 July 2015. It was based on Excel-based add-ins like Power Query, Power View, and Power Map. As of 2019, Power BI has been officially declared as one of the leading BI tools by 2019 Gartner Magic Quadrant for Analytics and Business Intelligence Platform. There are some of the most important and interesting features of Power BI. Visualization, custom visualization, get data, data connections, data sets, dashboards, filters, reports, ad hoc analysis, trend indicator, online analytical process in OLAP, DAX functions, and authoring interactive reports. Who uses Power BI? Here are an important professional who uses Power BI tool: PMO, project and portfolio manager, business and data analyst, developer and database administrator, IT team, IT professional, consumer for end user report, data scientist. So in this session we have learned about the introduction to Power BI. Thank you. Hello friend. In this session of Power BI we are going to learn about Power BI architecture. Power BI architecture you can see in the screen. It is represented in a design like you can see data source, Power BI desktop, Power BI service, gateways, and the last is access. So you can see we are connecting the data source and we are publishing the report using Power BI desktop, and then it is been published to Power BI service. So Power BI service is managed by Power BI gateways because we need to refresh our data source in intervals like in a day or in a week or in a month. So we need to use Power BI gateways for to and from refresh of the data so that we can give the live data. And last is the access. So the access means where you can access your dashboard, where you can see your dashboard. So it can be either your laptop, it can be either a Power BI desktop, it can be a mobile apps, and it can be a tablet as well. So let us see some architectures. So first is data integration. An organization needs to work with data which come from different sources which can be in various file formats. You can see the file formats such as Excel, SQL, or it can be come from cloud as well, Google, Azure, AWS. The data should be extracted from a different source which can be from different servers or databases. The data is integrated into one standard format in a common staging area. The next is data processing. In this stage, the data integrated is still not prepared for visualization. As the data needs processing, this data is pre-processed. For example, redundant values, missing values will be removed from the dataset. The business rule should be applied to the data when the data is clean. You can load that data back to data warehouse. Last is data presentation. Once the data is loaded and processed, it can be visualized much better with the use of various visualization that Power BI has to offer. Use of dashboard and reports helps one represent data more intuitively. This visual report helps business and users to take business decisions based on the insights. So in this session we have understand about the Power BI architecture and how a Power BI normal Power BI report works, or basically a life cycle of a Power BI report. Thank you. Hello friend. In this session we are going to learn on how to download and install Power BI desktop. The following are the steps involved in download and installation of Power BI desktop. Power BI desktop is a free window-based application. You can use this desktop to shape the data in a proper format and to design reports as per requirements. In order to download Power BI desktop, first go to the official Power BI website or just type in Google download Power BI desktop. Download Power BI desktop. So in the first link, download Microsoft Power BI desktop from official Microsoft website. So this is the link for the official Power BI desktop. Just click on it and it will open the website, which is an official website of Microsoft Power BI desktop, and just scroll down and you will see the language, in which language you want to download. You have an option, so I'm selecting English. This is the download button which you need to click. So once you click, the download will start. This is just a description, a short description for a Power BI desktop of how it is used, why it is used, and here you will find detailed system requirements and install instructions. If you click on the plus icon on the details, you will see the version, date published, file name and file size. So it is nothing but this is a later version. So whenever you install a Power BI desktop from an official website, it will be a latest version of that Power BI desktop. So current latest version is 2.88.1385.0. You can see the date published 22 Jan 2021. So this is the latest Power BI desktop version, which will be having all the functionality which has been uploaded or applied in this version. File name, so there are two files, which is Power BI desktop setup 64 and Power BI desktop setup, this is for 32-bit. And you will find something what you can do with Power BI desktop. And Microsoft Power BI desktop is a companion desktop application to Power BI, because Power BI is an Microsoft product. So these are all the features that you can do with Power BI, like get data, create relationship and enrich your data model with new measures and data formats, create reports, save your reports and upload or publish your reports using Power BI desktop to Power BI service. So if you click on this minus icon, so it will just collapse. And the next is the system requirement, which is very important, which while you downloading of Power BI desktop, to keep in mind that what system you should have before installing the Power BI desktop. So the Power BI does not support all the operating systems, As you see, Windows XP is not there. So Power BI is supported by Windows 10, Windows Server 2012 R2, Windows Server 2008 R2, Windows Server 2012, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 8.1, Windows Server 2016, Windows Server 2019. And just keep in mind that it is supported by after Windows 7. Like prior to Windows 7, like Windows Vista or Windows XP, it is not supported. It will not run. And Power BI Desktop requires Internet Explorer 10 or greater to download. Power BI Desktop is available for 32-bit and 60 to 64-bit platform. So you can install it on both the platform if your computer is 62-bit compatible or 32-bit compatible. Sorry, 32-bit or 64-bit compatible. Also coming to system requirements, so this is a software point of view. So hardware point of view, I will suggest you that you should use a RAM which is above 4 GB. I will suggest you minimum 8 GB, because in 4 GB RAM Power BI desktop will run, but not that smoother that it will run on 8 GB RAM. Okay, so the next is, so just click on this minus icon and it will collapse. So the next one is install instructions. So it is just, we tell you about to download the version of Power BI desktop that matches the architecture, that is 86, that is 32-bit, or a 64-bit system. So you just need to run the setup file. So now let us do the next step, that is just click the download button to download the Microsoft Power BI desktop. So once you click, as I said, it will give you an option for 64-bit or 32-bit. This is a 32-bit and this is 64-bit. So my system is supported by 64-bit compatibility, so I can select 64, but you need to know that whether your system supports 64-bit or not. So you can choose basis on your system availability. So just select 64-bit, and you can see the size is differ, like for 64-bit it is 328 MB, while for 32 it is 301. Click on next, and yeah, so this is the thank you page. You can see thank you for downloading Power BI desktop, and you can see here the Power BI desktop setup has been started. So now the downloading is going on, and you can see the progress, like it is 328 MB. So it will depend upon your internet speed how fast it can be downloaded. So I had already installed the Power BI desktop in my system, so I will just cancel this setup. Okay, so but in your, once the download is completed, you to install the Power BI desktop, please navigate to your file system where all the download file is been present, and you just need to double click on this setup file. Once you click on the application, it will gives you a security warning, and it may appear if you have any security measures. Otherwise, skip to the next step. The first page of the Power BI install is a welcome page. Please click the next button. Please checkmark the I accept the terms of the license agreement options and click the next button. Select the location where you want to install this application. Here either you can leave the default C location or use the change button to alter the installation directory. Next you will find to click the install button. So just click the install button, wait until the installation is completed. So it is basically very simple process, just like installing any other software. Just click on next and check mark the accept and terms and condition, and the installation will start. Once completed, click the finish button to complete the installation process. Now when you open the Power BI desktop for the first time, wait till the Power BI desktop initializes the desktop features. It will take some time to open, as it is opening for the first time in your system. Then you can see the installed Power BI desktop with start page, as you can see it in the screen. This will be a start page. So As I said, I has already have Power BI desktop installed on my system. So these are some practice documents. This is Power BI desktop, and you can find in the right side are tutorials where you can find forums, Power BI blog, and what's new. We will keep you updated about the newer functionality on Power BI desktop. Now once you close the start page, then you will see the actual Power BI working desktop. So this is the place where you are going to work. It is the Power BI desktop where we load data from different sources, design reports, and publish them. So this is the environment which we are going to work and create reports and publish the dashboards and all. So in this video we have learned about how to download and install Power BI desktop. Thank you. Hello friend. In this session we are going to learn about Power BI tools and component. Some important Power BI tools are Power BI desktop, service, data gateway, query, Power Pivot, Power View, Power Map. So let us see how important these Power BI tools are. So Power BI Desktop. Power BI Desktop is the primary authoring and publishing tool for Power BI. Developers and power users use it to create brand new models and reports from scratch. It is a companion development tool for Power BI, Power View, Power Query, and Power Pivot. You can import data from a data source, prepare and transform it, and use it in visualization to create reports in Power BI Desktop. And it is freely available. Next is Power BI Service. The Power BI service is a cloud-based business analytics service that enables anyone to visualize and analyze data with greater speed, efficiency, and understanding. It connects user to a broad range of cloud-based and on-premises data through easy-to-use dashboards, interactive reports, and compelling visualizations that bring data to life. The Power Service enables the sharing of workbooks and data views with other users. The data gets refreshed at regular intervals from the on-premise or and cloud-based data sources. But the Power BI service is not freely available. It need to be purchased. So the pro license charge is $10 per users per month. Power BI Data Gateway. Power BI Data Gateway works as the bridge between the Power BI service and on-premise data sources that are not on the cloud like Direct Query, Import, Live Query. It is installed by BI admin. If you want to refresh your data in the cloud with data that is on-premise, you will need to have the data management gateway configured and available for your tenants. For example, if you have set up your data sources on your local system or on a customer's data center which is behind a firewall, you will need to install the Power BI data gateway for the Power BI service to be able to connect to those data sources and fetch the data. It allows you to query large data sets and benefit from the existing investments. The Power BI Data Gateway is not only limited for use by Power BI, but it can also be used by the other Azure cloud services like the Azure Analysis Service, Power Apps, Azure Logic Apps, and Power Automate. All these cloud services can use the same data gateway without any other specifications required. Power BI gateways are generally used in organizations where data is kept in security and watch. Power BI Report Server. Power BI Report Server is an on-premise report server with a web portal in which you display and manage reports and KPIs. Along with it come the tools to create Power BI reports, paginated reports, mobile reports, and KPIs. Your users can access those reports in different ways, viewing them in a web browser or mobile device, or as an email in their inbox. Power BI report server is available through two different licenses, Power BI Premium and SQL Server Enterprise Edition with software assurance. If you published Power BI reports to Power BI report server, you also need a Power BI Pro license. You don't need a Power BI Pro license to view and interact with Power BI reports on Power BI report server. Difference between Power BI report server and Power BI service. Power BI report server is the on-premise option offered by Microsoft Power BI development suite. Power BI service on the other hand is the cloud service and the cloud solution from Microsoft. Power BI mobile apps. Power BI offers a set of mobile apps for iOS, Android and Windows 10 mobile devices. In the mobile app, you connect to and interact with your cloud and on-premises data. The Power BI mobile app for the Android phone brings Power BI to your pocket with up-to-date touch-enabled mobile access to your business information. You can filter a report by your geographic location. You can scan QR codes with your Android phone and go straight to the Power BI dashboard or report. Power Q&A, that is Power Question and Answer. Using the Power Q&A option, you can search for your data or discover insights by entering queries in natural language. It instantly understands your query and returns relevant results. Next is Data Catalog. The Data Catalog options offer the capability to search and reuse queries. Next is Power Query. Power Query is the data connectivity and data preparation technology that enables end users to seamlessly import and reshape data from within a wide range of Microsoft products, including Excel, Power BI, analysis services, Dataverse, and more. We use this service to access, search, and transform data from public or local internal data sources. Power Query is available in Power BI Desktop through Power Query Editor. Next is Power Pivot. Power Pivot is an in-memory data modeling component that provides highly compressed data storage and extremely fast aggregation and calculation. This service provides tool to model data taken from the in-memory data source to use it for analytics. Power Pivot can load data by itself or can load data into Power Query. Next is Power View. Power View is a data visualization technology that lets you create interactive charts, graphs, maps, and other visuals that bring your data to life. This service has many tools to graphically represent data using visuals and use them for analysis. The last one is a Power Map. It comes with tools and capabilities to visualize geospatial data or information in the 3D model in a map. You can use these maps in a Power BI report. So in this session we have learned about Power BI tools and component. Thank you. Hello friend. In this session you will learn on how to connect Power BI to a text file and how to get data from text file to Power BI. So what we are going to do here is we are going to get data from a text file to Power BI. We will load the data from a text file to Power BI and generate a bar chart. So before we start getting data from a text file to Power BI, let us see the data present in the text file. So the text file is present in the data folder and the text file name is sales data. So let me just open the text file and show you the data. So you can see it is just a normal text file and a normal data, but if you observe closely you can see the first row is a column name. Okay, so first row is a column name in the text file. So just close the text file and move on to our Power BI report builder. So I will just hide this filter, hide this visualization, and I will keep this field as it is, or you can even hide this as it is not required right now. So Under the home tab, go to get data, click on get data. You will see the common data source. So in common data source you will get a text slash CSV file. So you can import text or CSV file from here. So if in case the text is not listed here, you can just click on more, and there definitely you will find the text data source. So now I am going to click on a text slash CSV, and it will ask me the file location. So by default it is set to data folder. So this is my text file, sales data. I will just select and click on open. So by default you can see text file .txt, comma separated files .csv or .prn. So now I will click on open, and once I click on open, so the Power BI will start fetching the data from the text file. So as the data is less, so it is perform the operation faster, but if in case the data is used, so it will, the Power BI will definitely take time, depend upon the count on size of the data. Now you can see the preview of the data present in the text file. Most of the time Power BI automatically picks the delimiter and separate the columns, but if this is not the case, then you can use the delimiter of your choice as per your requirement. So right now it is tab. If I select comma, then definitely it is wrong. So the tab is best suited delimiter here. And now if I think that the data looks good and there is no formatting required, so I will just go on and click on the load button. So if in case any transformation required, then you will click on transform data, but in my case I think the data looks good and I will click on load button. So once you click on load button, so the data fetching will start from the Power BI text file to Power BI report builder. So now you can see it is showing working on it, and in the field section you will see the columns which are present in the text file, that are present in the text file is been imported in the field section of the report builder. So these are the columns which were present in the text file. So let me just create a very simple report, that is region versus sales. So for that I just need to do a two basic simple step. Select region. If there is a number of columns, you can just click on search, type region, and you will find the region here. Click on region. Once you click on region, the region will be populated in the canvas. The next thing which you want to select is sales. So just type sales and you will find sales here. So you can just click on sales. So you can see the region and sales. So right now it is not properly visible. You can just drag this and you can find the data in focus mode as, and if you go click on back to report, then it will be becoming normal. So you just need to do some basic formatting as it is a table based report. So you just need to go to visualization and you just need to perform some formatting here, like increasing the size of the text and increase the size of the table, cell height and width. But as I am going to create a bar chart, so you can select a bar chart from here. There are a number of charts which we are going to see learn in our later session. So let us choose a stack chart. No, so I will be selecting a simple bar chart. So let me just click on the bar chart. So yeah, so this is stack bar chart and this is a stack column chart. So just the difference is horizontal and vertical. So when you click here, it will give you horizontally, and here it will give you vertically. So this is the only difference between both. So we will also going to learn more deeper about charts in our later sessions. So same here, if you want to increase the size, of this, you just need to go to format and you can increase the size as well. So in this session we have learned on how to connect and get data from a text file. Thank you. Hello friend. In this video we are going to create our first Power BI report using a Excel file. Power BI reports are visuals that explain your dataset better. A report could just be a single visual or pages of visuals. These reports came from a dataset. Before you can create any report in Power BI, you need a dataset and a blank report canvas. So we will be using a superstore data as a data source, which will be a Excel file. So let me just show you the data source, that is an Excel file. So in the data folder, so yeah, this is an Excel file, sample superstore. So let me just open this Excel file. So this is the data of the superstore sales data. So on in this data we are going to create our first Power BI report, which is an Excel file. So basically, let me just give you a small overview of what a superstore sales data is. Superstore data sample is composed of data about retail sales of items sold across multiple stores and districts. There are also data about this year's performance, last year's sales, units, gross margin, variance, profit, sales, shipping, etc. So at the top row you can see these are the column which are present in the superstore data. So you can see there are total number of 21 columns and the sheet name is order. So this is can be called a sheet name or a table name. The second sheet is person and the third one is returns. So we are going to work with a order sheet. So now let us just fetch and get this data into our Power BI desktop. So I will just open my Power BI. Okay, so now I will show you how to connect Power BI to Excel files and how to get data from Excel to Power BI. So to demonstrate, you just need to click on the get data. Now in get data under common data source, you just need to click on Excel, as we are going to you work with Excel data source. But if in case your data source is not listed here, you can just go and click on more and you will definitely get your data source. So now I am going to click on Excel. So once I click on Excel, it will ask me for the path where the file is located. So I will just navigate to that path. So let me just go to the data and yeah, so this is sample superstore and you can see here Excel files that are XLSX, XLSM. So these are all the Excel file which can work with Power BI. So now let me just click with open. So once you click on open, so it will take some time to connect to the Excel file. So it will give you a window that please wait, the Power BI is connecting to an Excel file, that is superstore. So once the Excel file is connected with Power BI, you can see the navigator, that is a folder. So if you click on this folder, you will find the number of sheets that are present in the Excel file. So you can see there are 3 sheets, as well as I told you that sheets are same as tables. So these are 3 tables: order 1, order 2 and order 3. So now I am going to select order. So once you select the order sheet, you can see all the data which are there in the order sheet will be displayed here. So this is basically for verification, like if you are okay with the data, then you can go ahead, or else you need to perform a edit, that is transform data. So currently I don't want to make any changes to the data, so let me click on the load button. So once you click on the load button, so you can see the data is starting to load. So you can see a window that is load orders creating connection in model. So it will take some time based on the number of records it is there in the data source. So it will start fetching the data from the Excel to Power BI desktop. You need to just wait. Like you can see orders 9994 rows. So these are the nine count of rows which is present in the superstore Excel file. So let me just verify it. So if I go to my Excel file and if I go down, I can see, yeah, 9994. So the count matches with the number of record inserted in the Power BI desktop. So once the count is verified, go to Power BI desktop, and in the right you can find a fields where the number of columns that are present in the order sheets will be displayed. So these are the column names which are present in the order sheet. Basically you will see all the columns that imported from the Excel file under the field section. So you will see something like that once the data is imported from the Excel file. So let me go to home. Yeah, so you can see something bifurcation, like this is a canvas, like this is a canvas, this is a field pane, visualization, and a filter pane. So obviously the canvas is the empty white space at the center where the visuals will be made. The field pane contains the different fields of your data set. So you can think of it as the column of your data set. The visualization pane is where you can edit and modify your visualization, like the type of visualization you can select. Even you can edit, format a specific option for the values of your visual. So you can choose any visual from the visualization bar, visualization field. So the last is filter. So in filter you can just you need to drag the column on which you want to apply the filter, and you can perform the filter operation. So this all thing we will going to see one by one in our later sessions. So what I am going to create in a report is I am going to create a sales versus years. So total sales based on a yearly basis. So what I am going to create is I am going to create a bar chart. So what is required? So I just required a sales. So definitely this is sales. So if you just double click on it, so you can see, you can rename it, and once you just select it, you can see here the sales has been, the sales data is starting to load. So it's totally based and depend upon your RAM. You will get the data faster. So you can see this is a sales. So what I want here as well, so you can just see sales is in values because it is a measure. So any measure is there, it will go into values. So now I am going to select dimension. So you can select dimension, say in my case the dimension will be, say here. So if you see here order date, so in order date there is an drop down, so just you can click on it, and once you click, or else you can just select it. So once you select it, so see the beauty of Power BI, you are just selecting that column and Power BI itself tell you that it is a dimension and it will go under axis. So there is no need to do a drag and drop as well. You just need to select the column name, and Power BI itself determine that where that column should fit, either in axis or either in values. So now you think your visuals and all its text is too small for your eyes. So no worries, you can edit your report. However, for example, you can feel free to enlarge your visuals like this. You can enlarge your visuals as well as you can enlarge the size of the text. which are here. So I will just do some basic formatting for enlarging the text of this report. Even in case the filter section is not required, you can just hide it, and in case the field is now not required, you can just hide it, so you can get some extra canvas space to create your report. So this area is also called a report builder. So now let me just go to the formatting section. So once I select this one, you need to select this format. Yeah, this is a format. Just click on format, and in general you will find X position is 10, Y position is 0, width, height, all text, so everything you can see. So these are all formatting options for a bar chart, which we will see in our later session how to work with a bar chart. But right now what I am going to do, I am just going to increase the size of the labels. So let me just do that. So if you want to increase the size of x-axis or y-axis, so you need to know that first. So in my case, I just want to increase the size of x-axis as well as y-axis. You can see this is, there is a button. If you just click here, you see the x-axis has been gone. So if you hide it, you can unhide it. So this is now unhide, and you can just go to x-axis, and there are multiple options you will find, which we will see. And this is the color. Currently it is black color. You can change it to anything you want. And in case you want to increase the size, so at the bottom, yes, this is title text size, so you can just increase the size here, whatever size you want based on your requirement. So or else you can just type here size, whatever size you want. Like let's suppose I am taking it till 20, so this is the 20, so you can see here. And moving ahead, you can have much more options. So now if I go for text size also, I will increase it to somewhere, let's suppose 15. 15 is nice. So you can see as I change the color, so you can take dark black as well, so which will be good. And if you move ahead, you can go to custom color as well if you want, but right now I'm making it simple. And just if think it is x-axis is good, now I will move on to y-axis and just increase the size of the text. So it is 9, let me just make it 15. You can type as well instead if you want to direct, if you have some number in mind, so you can just type it. And I will also increase the size of the title. So currently size is 12, I will make it 20. So you can see the sales, and this is years. So now if you want to increase the size of sales per year, so it will come under title, so that also you can do. So basically this all come under formatting, which we are going to learn in our later session. So let me just show you title also. So you can see here alignment should be middle, and I will make it somewhere around 26. So you can see it looks good. You can do other formatting as well, like change the millions to thousands or billions, so whatever you want you can do. So if you select, you can see the color changes. And there is also one more thing you can see for a better view. So you can see focus mode. So when you click on focus mode, it will enlarge the report, so which will help you to see in a bigger picture. So now once the report is created, there is an also option for drill down. If you click on drill down, this will just go to the next level if in case there is any. So there is also go to next level in the hierarchy, and this is also expand all down one level in the hierarchy. So these are all there if you have multiple hierarchies. So basically by default, if you have a date field as a data type, then it has four levels like year, quarters, month and day. So that's how it works. So let me just go to the, you can see here quarters, month and day. So I don't want all the level, I just want right now year only. So you can easily identify that 2018 has a highest number of sales. So once you go to the 2018 bar, you can see a tooltip that is order data 2018 and the sales value. So this is the report which we have developed sales versus years, and the last step is just to save your report. So I will go to file and I will click on save, or you can click on save as. So once I click on save, the Power BI file is usually saved as an extension PBIX, Power BI IX, and I just need to give the name of my report. So I will give the name first Power BI report, and I will just click on save. So once you click on save, it will take some time to save the file, and once it is saved, you can see the name that is first Power BI report. So if you can also go back to the report once you want to disable the focus mode. So in this session, we have learned and created our first Power BI report using a Excel file. Hello friend, in this session we are going to learn about Power BI data sources. Power BI supports large range of data sources. You can click on the get data and it will show you all the available data connections. It allows you to connect to different flat files, SQL databases and Azure Cloud, or even web platforms such as Facebook, Google Analytics and Salesforce Object. It also includes Power BI datasets which you can build inside Power BI. Even you can take data from web. Apart from this, you can even connect on ODBC data sources which is not listed here. So right now you can see only the common and most used data sources which is used by most of the organization like Excel, Power BI datasets, Power BI data flows, SQL Server as a database, analysis service for creating cubes, text file, CSV files, web like just providing the URL link to fetch the data, OData feed and a blank query. It can be either a SQL query or an Oracle query. To get data in Power BI desktop, you need to click the get data option and you can just select whatever data source you have and you can just work on it. So basically it is just showing you the most common data sources first, but then when you click this more option, so you will see a full list of available data sources. So now you can see a new navigation window where on the left side it shows a category of all the available data sources. You also have an option to search at the top of the window. So let me search Excel. So yeah, you can see this is an Excel data source. So let me search Azure. So it will give me all the available Azure. Yeah, so these are all the available Azure data sources. You can see the connectivity. Wow, so you can see the connectivity the Power BI desktop provide. See Azure, because Azure itself is a Microsoft product, so you can just have a seamless connectivity between both Power BI desktop and Azure as a data source. You can see it connect to Azure SQL database, Cosmos DB, Spark. Wow, wonderful feature. So now let us learn about the categories of data sources. So I will just click on close and I will see all the categories available now. So first categories is all. So under this category you can see all the available data sources under Power BI desktop. So you can see Excel, text file folder. So everything will be available here, because when you perform a search operation it fetch the data from the all category. The next is file. So when you click on file, it shows you all flat file types supported in Power BI desktop. You can see Excel, text. These are all files: XML file, JSON file. Even you can just import a folder where all the links file are present, like multiple files. So like we have three text file or four Excel file. So all the data will be jump into our data bucket into once. Yeah, you can see PDF file as well. SharePoint, yeah, this is a very important feature. SharePoint folder. So this is zero Office 365 connectivity, which is very good. So you can even connect to SharePoint folders, and all the files present in this folder can be easily fetched using this get data feature in Power BI desktop for analysis. The next category is database. So database, yeah. So whenever you think of database, first thing come into mind is SQL Server. So SQL Server is largely used database because it itself is a like Microsoft product. So definitely it has good connectivity with Power BI, because both are Microsoft product. And you can, apart from SQL, you can connect to Access database, IBM database, MySQL database, Cbase, Teradata, SAP database, SAP HANA. You can have all the database which is available currently in the market. Even you have Mark Logic, Index. So if there is any new database coming in the market, so Power BI definitely have and will provide you that connectivity in the data source. Also, one thing which I want to highlight here is to connect to any database, select a database type from the list. Like if suppose I select an SQL Server database, so when I was clicking on file, I click on Excel, so there is a connect option. So you can just click on connect and you will see it will ask you for the file path, but this is not the case in database. So when you go to the database, so in database you will, let's go to SQL Server database, and here what you need to do is you need to provide the server name, username and password to connect. Okay, so you can also connect via direct SQL query. Click on advanced option. Yeah, you can click on direct SQL. So this all thing we will learn in our later session. So just a brief idea. So you will be requiring a server. Database is an optional, but it will be good if you provide a database name here as well, and then username and password of the server. So here you see that import and direct query. So let me just give you a quick walkthrough about that as well. So direct query option limits the option of data manipulation and the data stays in SQL database. Direct query is live and there is no need to schedule refresh as in the import method. Import method allows you to perform data transformation and manipulation. When you publish the data to Power BI service, which limit is 1 GB, it consumes and pushes data into Power BI Azure backend, and data can be refreshed up to 8 times a day, and a schedule can be set up for data refresh. So you can just understand one thing, that direct query will be a live connection and import will be a extract connection. So for extract connection, definitely you need to schedule and refresh your data at different interval. But for live connection, that is direct query, refresh is not required because the data is live. Any record inserted will be seen in the visualization. There are some advantage of using direct query. Using direct query, you can build data visualization on large data sets, which is not feasible to import in Power BI desktop. Direct query doesn't apply any 1 GB data set limit, which is there in Power BI. So I sadly need to say that 1 GB is a limit to be create an extract in Power BI. That is import. But if in that direct query, it is not required. You can fetch any number of data using direct query as it is a live connection. With the use of direct query, the report always shows the current data. But with certain advantage, there is also a limitation on using a direct query. There is a limitation of 1 million row for returning data while using direct query. You can perform aggregation of more number of rows, however, the result row should be less than 1 million to return the data set. In direct query, all tables should come from a single database. When a complex query is used in the query editor, it throws an error. To run a query, you need to remove the error from the query. In direct query, you can use relationship filtering only in one direction. It doesn't support special treatment for time related data in tables. So this is all about database. We will look more when we start working in our database session, when we connect to our database data source while creating a data visualization. So now next moving to our next category. So let us see the next category. So the next category is Power Platform. So Power Platform is a new feature which has been come because it was not there earlier. So Power Platform or Power BI dataset which we create, you can create by using import or using Power BI, Power BI data flow, common data service, or Power Platform data flow beta. So these all things we will see in our videos while we work on connecting to our different data source and fetching the data and creating a visualization. So next category is Azure. So yes, I said that Azure is a Microsoft product, so definitely it has good link with Microsoft Power BI desktop. So it has all the features of Azure link with Microsoft Power BI desktop. It is also not false to say that Azure has a better connectivity other than any other Power BI or other than any visualization tool in the market than Power BI desktop. Using Azure option, you can connect to database in Azure Cloud. You can see Azure SQL database, Azure Cosmos DB, data lake storage, Hive, Spark. So you can connect to any of. You can see Azure Blob storage as well. So now let us move to our next category, that is online service. Power BI also allows you to connect to different online service such as Facebook, Salesforce, Google Analytics. You can see here all the social media as well, LinkedIn, Spark. So good connectivity, good number of data source available, which you will hardly find in any other data visualization tool. So you can see even Salesforce. This is also new, and SharePoint is there. You can find Dynamic 365. So you can connect to any online websites. I think the Power BI in our latest release has removed the Facebook from the online service because Facebook has lots of issue with their data security and all. So I think for visualization they had removed the Facebook from their data source. Yes. So right now Facebook is not available, but it was there earlier. So now let us move to our next category, that is other. So in other it will you will just find something like R script, Python script which you can embed in your Power BI desktop and use it for visualization. This is also a very important feature. You can use Python, MATLAB, ODBC. Here you will find SharePoint, Microsoft Exchange as well. Web will be directly a URL, so you find good number of data sources, blank query as well, survey monkey. So lots of good social media apps are also which are very popular are present here. So in this session we have seen on how we can what are the number of data sources available in Power BI desktop. Thank you. Hello friend. In this session we are going to learn on how to connect Power BI to SQL Server and how to get data from SQL Server to Power BI. So to learn that we are going to get data from SQL Server to Power BI and then we will load data from a SQL Server to Power BI and generate a bar chart based on the data that we are going to import. So basically from SQL Server we will be going to import a table. So before we start getting data from SQL Server to Power BI, so let us first see the data present in the SQL Server. So now I am going to open my SSMS SQL Server Management Studio. So I am going to press Windows R, that is a run command, and that is I am going to type SSMS. So this way also you can open SQL Server Management Studio, or else you can go to start and just type SSMS and you will get the SQL Server icon. So just hit enter and now you will see that our SQL Server is going to start. And right now what I am going to do is I am going to select the server name as local and authentication is Windows authentication for my system, but in real scenario when you work in a organization definitely it will be a SQL Server authentication where you need to provide a username or a password. So let me click on connect. So once I click on connect, you can see the SQL Server start to connect to my local server. So this green icon indicate that my SQL Server has started running and it is been connected. So now you can see database, security and management. So just expand the database. So in database I am going to use AdventureWorks Data Warehouse 2008 R2 database, and I am going to use the table from here as well. And for our example I am going to use table dim employee. So I'm just going to right click here and select top 1000 rows. So when I click on select top 10,000 rows, sorry, select top 1000 rows, so it will give me a record. So right now there are only 296 rows present in the table. So let me just give you a quick walkthrough of the data. So you can see it as a normal table, a SQL table data. So here there is a record for employee. So this is employee key, the name of the employee, employee middle name, what is the designation, it is a title, hire date, birth date, and login ID, email address, so on. So you will find basic details here like gender as well, salary flag, so department, on which department he or she is working, status current or null, so whether he is currently working or he is not working. So if not working then there will be a end date. So now let us connect this data and bring it to our Power BI. So I am just going to move to my Power BI desktop, and now you can see it is taking lots of space, the filter, visualization and fields. So I will just hide this and so I can get some good space, and the margin is also not full, so I will go to view and there is page view. I will go to fit to width, so I can use the full canvas, full area, basically full screen. So now I will go to my home. Under home I will go to get data. So inside get data you will find a SQL Server. If you don't find SQL Server here, you can click on more and there definitely you will get a SQL Server under database. So as it is a common data source used by Power BI or used by most of the organization, so you can just click on SQL Server. So once you click on SQL Server, so you will find a SQL Server wizard. So you need to just configure this SQL Server database to connect to the dim employee table. So now I just need to provide the server name. So as I see, my server name is local, so I will just provide the name, say local. So local is the name of my server. Database is optional, so if you want to use a custom query, then it is required. So next is the data connectivity mode. So please select whether you want to import or direct query. So in case of live connection, you can use direct query, or in case of extract, you can select import. Also, by clicking on the advanced option, you will find something more like SQL statement. So this is a place where you can write your own SQL query to extract data from the specified database. So to do this, you just need to write your query inside the SQL statement box. So if you want, you can just copy paste this query in that, or else you can select that table from the database. So I will show you both the ways. So let me just first start by selecting a proper table, and then I will show you by a query. Hello friend, in this session we are going to learn on how to get data from SQL database using SQL query to Power BI. So let us start first connecting the SQL database to our Power BI. So to connect SQL database, we need to go to get data, which will be under home tab. So once you click on get data, you will see a SQL Server data source. If you can't see SQL Server data source here, you can click on more, and once you click on more, the Power BI will load all the data source that are present inside Power BI. So once it is loaded, you can see different categories. So here you will find SQL in database, that is SQL Server database. Still, if you finding any difficulty finding SQL Server database, there is an option search. You can just type here SQL and you will get SQL Server database. So there are all other databases which are related to SQL, that is Azure, Postgres, MySQL, but right now we are working with Microsoft SQL Server database. So just click on it and click connect. So once you click on connect, the SQL Server connectivity wizard will open. So it will ask you for server name, database optional, and connectivity mode. So before connecting to SQL Server, before providing information in SQL Server database wizard, let us first connect to our SSMS, which is our SQL Server Management Studio. So let me just open my SQL Server Management Studio. So I am pressing Windows R, which will open the run command, and there I am typing SSMS and I am hitting enter. So once I hit enter, my system will start SQL Server. So my current version is 2008 R2. So it will open my Management Studio. In case if you don't know Windows R, you can just directly go to search and type SSMS and you will get your SQL Server Management Studio. So as you can see, my server name which I am connecting is this Toshiba Tosh. So let me just click on connect, and I am connecting using authentication Windows because I don't have any username and password. This is my system SQL Server, so I have Windows authentication with me, so I am connecting, and it will definitely grant me the permission because I am the only user. So just click on connect. You can see, so once I click on connect, my server, so I am connected with my server. This is green, this indicate that my server is up and running. And when I click on database, so in my database you can see these are the database present in that server. So let me just click on new query. So as I am connecting SQL server and fetching the data using SQL query to Power BI, so I just need to write one query. So let me use one table. So what I am going to use here is, let me use dim employee. So if I go to dim employee, so now I am going to write a query. So let me just check the data, select staff from the table name. So I will execute it and I will find that there are 296 rows. So these are the columns which are present in that table, like first name, last name, employee details, title, and marital status, married or single, gender, male, female, base rate, vacation hours. So each and every detail of an employee is been present here. Current flag 1, end date is null, end date. So basically end date means the employee has left the organization. If it is null, then the employee is still working. So let us work on this. So what I am going to do is, I am just going to write one where clause where status equal to, let's say, current. So there are 290 rows, so it has eliminated all the null records. So this current means these all employees are currently present and working for my company.